They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Taking My Power Back podcast with Charvonrenee. I am Charvonrenee and you guys are tuning in to episode 4, y'all. Can y'all believe it? We're 4 episodes in. Today's topic is going to be talking about, if you looked at the title, what happens when you trust the wrong people. And this is a quick disclaimer. We are going to be talking about me losing my virginity and being sexually assaulted. So if you do not want your children to hear this, let's go ahead and get them to the left, okay? I'm going to try to make it through this podcast without crying. That's the tea, okay? The real key. But no, you know what? Really and truly, I'm smiling because I'm nervous. I don't know if y'all get, like, if y'all smile when I get nervous, but I smile when I get nervous sometimes. And my heart is like pounding. Why is my heart pounding, y'all? Why is my heart pounding? Because I'm ready to get this out of me, right? Because only a few people know. Oof. Why am I nervous? Jesus, take the wheel and be the first. Guide me through this podcast episode, Lord. Okay, but before we get into the topic, the nitty gritty, let me do my disclaimer. This disclaimer is not to bash anybody. Over a decade, I have carried with me trauma. Girl, I can't even think. I'm so nervous now. Okay. Over a decade, I have carried around trauma that has paralyzed me physically and emotionally. And now is the time that I'm taking my power back. I am doing the self-work, doing therapy, doing self-care, giving myself grace, giving other people's grace, and learning how to take my power back. Okay, well, I guess, I see, the thing is, I talked to my therapist and I said, girl, I'm going to do it. She said, you going to do it? I said, girl, I'm going to do it. Whew. Okay, Charvon. Okay, so, let me just give y'all, because I talked about it a little bit in my, I talked about it in my last episode. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it to me. Don't go down to 2 bars when I just put this thing on the charger. Okay, I think we should be able to get through it. Anyway, sorry, y'all. Who is it a sign? Ooh, okay. I talked about it a little bit in a few of my episodes, just talking about how I didn't lose my virginity until I was 20. So we're gonna go back to me being exposed to sexual activities. Okay, I was exposed to sexual activities when I was a kid, like 8, 9, 10, and that's why I'm like really big on watching kids, you know what I'm saying, and making sure they're not doing stuff inappropriate, right? And back then, and April talked about it a little bit in our episode, you know, and hearing her talk about that she was exposed to, you know, sexual activities with, you know, cousins and kids or whatever. It's just like, y'all, we gotta watch our kids. We gotta make sure that we're not exposing our kids to things, because we didn't know no better. Like, and we didn't have no business playing house. And y'all know when we was playing house, we was all being nasty. And it wasn't, I knew, you know, it's like, you think you know it's wrong, but you don't know it's wrong because you've seen people do it, right? Right. So, being exposed to that type of activity young, I guess it just made me, you know, as I got older, not wanting to do that, right? Like, thinking back on it now as I'm an adult, is just like, yeah, that wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And actually, when you get older and you start noticing like these things are wrong, you know, but it's like you didn't, at that time you didn't know no better. So like I kind of encourage my friends to talk about good touches and bad touches at a younger age. Like at young ages when they start to like kind of talk and things like that, just because but so in high school, like I told y'all, in high school, in my last episode, they were trying to, like, these people were trying to play with me, right? They were trying to play on my face because I had the light on them. You know what I'm saying? They will say, oh, I'm a good girl, but they be trying to get me. And I wasn't like, I'm not that girl. Like, and I didn't make it no better either, because, you know, in high school, all the little girls and little boys, y'all talk nasty and stuff. No, and I was talking, I ain't gonna hold you up, I was talking nasty, okay? When I wasn't at home, baby, I was talking nasty, and talking nasty about stuff I ain't even did before. But just, you know, trying to be cool, trying to be, you know, in the crowd or whatever. But then when opportunities present themselves, and I was just like, yeah, nope, not gonna happen, I'm not that girl. Well, you be talking and you be saying that, babe, I'm not that girl. You know what I mean? And so my mama had allowed me to have a little boyfriend. Well, not even a boyfriend, because what she said was, and my sisters was mad, okay? Because I went to my mama, I was like, hey, ma, I like this little boy. Can this little boy come over, right? And she was like, that's your friend. That's not gonna be your boyfriend. Now, of course, you know, you doing a little touchy here, a little kissy here, you know what I'm saying? But she like, that ain't your boyfriend, ma'am. You don't have a boyfriend, ma'am. And I'm like, all right. And my sisters was mad. They was like, how does mama let you have this boy come over? Because I went to her. See, I've always been honest, I guess, because it was another trauma response. My therapist told me I overly share. I'm overly offering up information. I'm overly always listening, because I was getting in trouble for things I did not do. So I always like to overly share and overly say, hey, this, and this. So I went to my mom and I told her, like, this little boy, little boy come over, blah, blah, blah. And this little boy, let me tell y'all, girl, I thought I was in love, child. First of all, he was a basketball player. Y'all didn't know, that know. He was a basketball player, and I was just like, oh my God, girl. But when the basketball player was like, listen, Miss Ma'am, I want you. And I'm like, but I don't want you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, And he was very respectful, you know what I'm saying? One thing I can't say, he was very respectful until he got disrespectful and cheated. But him cheating on me was the best thing that happened, because now I'm married now with the love of my life. Okay, Siobhan, stop being silly. Yo, I'm nervous, so that's why I'm trying to like kind of make it funny but not make it funny, you know, because I'm just, my heart is palpitating so bad. Ooh, okay. So anyways, so all through high school, I did not have sex, and we ended up breaking up or whatever. Then we get to where I get my own place. Okay, I get my own place. I'm working at a hospital 2 weeks out of high school, so you couldn't tell me nothing, babe. I got me an apartment. 2 weeks after high school, I started working at this this hospital, and then I went, actually they called me on prom. They called me on prom for me to go to interview, and babe, I said, babe, it's prom, but I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up and then still make it to prom. And I started working at 2 weeks after high school. Then in the middle of the summer, I moved out, got my own apartment 2 minutes away from the hospital, so that way I could be able to walk to work, because I had a car but I couldn't use my car. We'll talk about that in another episode, because that was very traumatic. But anyways, I started, you know, talking to like the employees there or whatever, and then they was all, you know, talking or whatever, and everybody talking, and I don't know how we got on the conversation about sex, but you know, it's adults, you know, we're adults now. Like I'm at this point, I'm an adult. I'm in working. I'm like, I got my own place, babe. I'm an adult. So we talking about it, and they like all talking about it, and I'm like, I did like, Siobhan, what you think? I'm like, oh, I can't relate because I'm a virgin. And everybody like, what you mean you a virgin? I'm like, I'm a virgin. I'm waiting for marriage. And I was so gun-ho on waiting till I get married, right? And baby, disclosing the information was bad, okay? I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think people will prey on you when they find out you're a virgin. But people like prey on you. Like they really, really prey on you. So it was this guy that I worked with there, right? And he was a cool dude or whatever. After me working there for a couple of months, we know me and him started to like talk or whatever. And he was like, oh, can I take you out? And I'm like, okay, you know. I'm like, ooh, you know, I'm getting attention, but not like getting attention, you know. And so we went out. We had a great time. He was very respectful in the beginning, you know. And then we went back to his place. And really was his place. It was his mama's place because he was in the basement. No shade, no what's the name? That's, hey, you gotta live it how you live, right? But you know, we didn't have like sex, you know. We had sexual activities, and he partaked in giving me sexual activities. If you catch my drift, right? And he was ready to go, but I knew I was waiting for marriage, right? And I'm just like, yeah, nope, let's stop. Take me home. And I should have been dumb, first of all, because I should have been dumb. I should have known when I went back to his place there was going to be some things. Now, I'm not saying that I did not consent, because, baby, if that's what you want to do, baby, that's what you're going to do. Okay, that's what you want to do? Do what you want to do, okay? But I know from there it was just like, yeah, no. And so when he dropped me off, he didn't seem mad or anything, right? When he dropped me off, I'm like, this between me and you, right? Like, this not no public information, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, we cool, blah, 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 blah. Girl, didn't even make it to work. Didn't even make it all the way into the workplace good enough. And people are already talking about it. And I'm like, for real, bruh? Like, first of all, I didn't do anything. You did something to me, you know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna say something, say the truth, whatever. And they, you know, talking about, oh, that I was scary and I didn't want to do this, I didn't want to do that. And I'm just like, here it is. I'm thinking that you like me, and we starting, you know, having to have like a relationship or whatever. Not even a relationship, because it was never like a relationship. We were talking, and then that happened, and then when I went to work, literally the next time I was scheduled to work, the news is all over the girl. It was just like hot off the press, and I'm just sitting there. I was so embarrassed, because it's just like, I don't want my business out there in the street like that. Like, and that's why they be like, oh, you shouldn't date the people you work with. And now I saw why, and I'm just like y'all, this high school. Like, it felt like working. Sometimes working felt like high school, because this is like really. And then you stopped talking to me, and then it was, I come to find out that it was a bet. Oh, okay, y'all are cool, right? But you still didn't get what you thought you was gonna get. That's what you gotta know, okay? And so then after that, I started talking to this guy. Now, I'm not opposed to meeting people on the internet, because that's how I met my husband after everything like happened or whatever. And I was talking to this guy even like before, like we were just talking online or whatever, while I was, you know, conversating with the guy from work or whatever, because it's like, it was nothing set in stone. And this guy, I'm just like, okay, we cool, you know, we've been talking for a few months. We were talking for like maybe 4 months online, until I was just like, okay, I think I'm ready to meet him, right? And so, girl, now that I'm thinking about it, bitch, you dumb. Because I didn't have this guy come to my house. I'm talking on, I never been like went to see him like somewhere else, because I didn't have a car. So I'm just trying to make it convenient. But now I'm thinking about it, God really kept me, because I was talking to this guy for 4 months, and then I invite him to my house the first time we meet in person. Like, Girl, make it make sense. Like, I was really dumb. You know when you just think about something, you're like, oh my God, like, I was really dumb. So anyways, so I was talking to the, to the guy, and he knew I was a virgin or whatever, and he knew I was waiting for marriage and whatever. So me and him were talking for a couple months, maybe it was 4 months online, and then there'd be like another 2.5 months, 2.5 months, after we met in person or whatever. Like, he used to come over or whatever. He stayed a couple of nights or whatever. And then I felt like, you know what, Siobhan? I like this dude. And I don't think I want to wait no more to get married. When I talked to one of my big sisters that I met at work and married, I got a good relationship. And I was like, girl, I think I'm ready. It's like, you think you're ready? You sure? I said, girl, I think I'm ready. Right? Baby, biggest mistake of my whole entire life. Okay? Biggest mistake. Like, biggest mistake of my whole entire life. One of the biggest mistakes of my whole entire life. Because not me doing a do, okay, and not it being done in 3 minutes. Like, at first it was hurting, right? And then when I started feeling good, homeboy was done. Like, literally, y'all, 3 minutes. Like, 3 freaking minutes. And he had a breath, and he like, and I'm like, are you okay? Yeah, you got something to drink? I'm like, well, it's Kool-Aid in the refrigerator. He get up, get some drink, then go to sleep. And I'm looking at him like, oh, okay. All right. He like, you okay? I said, babe, I'm okay. Are you okay is the question. After that, he ghosted me. Okay, now I don't know if it was because he was embarrassed, but his excuse was, after I was calling him, texting him or whatever, he finally, after 2 weeks, he finally answered my phone call. He was like, you need to stop calling me. I have a girlfriend and you're ruining my relationship. And I said, excuse me, bitch? What do you mean you have a girlfriend? Because that was never the case when you was staying the night and you was coming to visit me. We were talking, And he hung up the phone, and I kept calling. Because, baby, you're not about to play in my face, okay? I kept calling and kept calling and kept calling and kept calling. No answer. Girl, I was calling so much, he changed his number. Okay? So, I was just like, never again, right? And so, I was sticking to my guns, bro. I was sticking to my guns. I was just like, nope. If I talk to somebody, I was saying, and I kept telling myself, well, bitch, technically it don't count because it was only 3 minutes and you didn't do nothing and you didn't even believe it. You didn't do it. Like, telling myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you lost your virginity, but you just don't want to believe it yourself that you lost your virginity. So it was just like, okay, you live and you learn, right? You live and you learn. And here I go again, meeting somebody else. Like, on the internet. Like, I met all the guys that I really, really, like, in my adult life talked to. Well, I met some people on the street or whatever, but, like, thinking, something, like, that's how I met my husband. Y'all remember Tag? That's where I met my husband on. Tag. And this other guy, the little bitch. Okay, now I'm about to listen, because now I'm about to get pissed off, because I'm just thinking about it, and I'm not. Okay, because now I'm about to get into me being sexually assaulted. Okay. So, again, me being stupid. My therapist keeps telling me to stop saying that, but it's just like, I'm thinking about it now, and I'm thinking about it like then and after everything happened. Girl, you were stupid. Like, you were stupid. But I'm trying to, I guess I be trusting people, just thinking like people are actually good people. You know what I mean? And sometimes people are not good people, and it's just sad, like, because I just live in this bubble and I be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like, I love people. And then I'm like, girl, you hate people because people be. So I have met this other dude. Now this dude I met, the dude I lost my virginity to, he was 7 years older than me. So I was like, okay, Sharon, you and the other guy from the hospital, he was older than me. I'm like, okay, girl, find somebody your age, right? I'm thinking I can find somebody my age, stay in that age caliber, I'm gonna be cool, right? Which it was, because my husband. I'm going to good thoughts. Like, I'm trying to get through this and go through good thoughts, right? Oh, I don't know if I want to do this, y'all. Ooh. Okay. You got through it. You good. You good. You got through it. And it's cool. You lived. You good. Okay. So, this was going back to when my older sister was living with me. She had came back from Georgia and she was living with me, right? In my apartments, my first 2 apartments I had were studio apartments, but the one my sister lived in with me, it was like maybe the size of my living room, maybe a little bit bigger, but it had like, I had put up like a divider of curtains. And so it was this dude I was talking to. I had met him off a tag as well. And we were talking for a good minute, you know. He was, you know, coming around. My sister was like, oh, he a cool little dude, blah, 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 blah. We just talking, we having a good old time or whatever. Now, he knew that I had lost my virginity, but my experience, like I told him my experience or whatever, and he knew. And this was maybe like a year after I had lost my virginity when I even started talking to this guy, right? And I was just like, he cool, you know, and we met up a few times. Then I felt comfortable enough to, you know, let him come to the house and stay the night with me a couple of times or whatever. And he would catch the bus to see me, and I'm like, oh girl, he liked me. He catch the bus to come see me. Oh my God! And he came from Redford, or not Redford. What's that right there? Is that Redford by Ecorse? I don't know. Is it Redford? I don't know whatever Ecorse is off of Jefferson. And so this particular day, my sister was home, right? And he came Saturday night. When he would come on the weekends, and he had his little overnight bag or whatever. And we were asleep, you know, we were laying down. My sister was asleep. It was like in the middle of the night. We talking, but you know, we whispering. So what's the name? And he like, come on, like, I'm ready. And I'm like, well, I'm not ready. You know, I'm not there, you know. I don't want to. I'm still now. I really wanna just, you know, fill you out some more. Like, cause we were talking for months now, and you playing with me. You let me come stay tonight, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but I said, I'm not forcing you to do anything. Like, I'm not forcing you to be here. I'm like, you come over here because I thought you know, I thought we were building something. Like, I thought you were okay with me waiting till when I'm ready to wait. And so that was that conversation that night, the first night he got there. And so he was like, all right, cool, whatever, cool. Next day, everything's fine. We all chilling or whatever. Then that night, here he go again talking. I'm just like, bruh, no, like, I'm not. And this, like, the next night, it was like his demeanor like changed, right? it was like he turned into a whole different person. Like you ever, like, you know, like when you have like, well, like Halloween, right? And people have these masks on, and like they have these scary masks on, but when they take their mask off, they look like such like innocent people. That's what it was like. And I'm just looking at him like, I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he was just like, tonight you about to stop playing with me and you gonna give me what I want. And I'm like, no, but you could just leave. Like, you could just, I was like, you could just leave. I'm like, I was like, maybe this not working. Maybe you can't handle this, because if I can handle this, like, you can't handle it. So I was like, maybe you could just leave. And he was like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere until you give me what I want. And I said, I'm not giving you what you want, right? But he definitely got what he wanted. Don't cry. He covered up my mouth and he started choking me. He was just like, you're gonna give me my sister was sleeping. Like, I know my sister was asleep, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I be mad at myself because I'm like, I had every opportunity like to scream or anything, but then I'm like, my sister here, my nephew here, what if I scream and he hurt my sister or he hurt my nephew? So if you just lay here and you just do what he say, it'll be over. You'll be all right. Like, it'll be over. So I just laid there. I laid there and I didn't fight him, because I was scared. I was just like, and for so long I was just so mad at myself. I'm just like, why did I just lay there? And I'm thinking, oh, that's gonna be it. Like, this is gonna be it. This gonna be it. Like, if you just lay there, my battery's about to die, y'all. My battery's about to die. Let me get myself together. Let me charge this battery and we gonna continue this in a second. Charge my battery. I'm gonna gather my thoughts. And so I remember where we left off. I didn't scream, I didn't say anything because I didn't want anything to happen to my sister or to my nephew. And so I thought it was over, you know, he about to get up and he gonna leave. No, he didn't leave. He stayed there. The next morning I'm thinking I'm gonna leave, so I get up, I go to the shower, and he was fucking weird. Like, you coming in the bathroom and doing it again, like I guess in his mind he felt that, oh, we about to do another. And I'm just looking at him like, no. And of course, me being dumb, I didn't want nothing to happen to me. I am the law and order queen, you know what I mean? And I was just happy that it was Sunday, and Sunday he usually leaves. So after it happened again in the bathroom, I took a shower, he took a shower, he got up and he left, and he was like, all right, I'll talk to you later. And I'm like, okay. I didn't say nothing to my sister because I didn't want her to think that I'm just dumb. I didn't call the cops. What I did do was, because me and that I seen Law and Order, and I seen like things, like all these different shows and stuff like that, I really didn't feel like I had a chance because I allowed him to come visit me. I allowed him to, you know, stay. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, of course I said no, but I was just afraid also that people were gonna look at me like, well, you can't play with people or whatever. And it's just like, I never ever, like, for me losing my virginity or whatever, and he knew the situation, he knew what my stance was. I never, you know, talk nasty, or like, it was never nothing like that, right? And I just felt that, like, we were, you know, like we were building, you know what I mean? Like, I never called the cops, but what I did do, which I am very, very grateful, that the building I lived in, we had a door person, and in order to get in our building, like, you had to sign in, you had to show your ID and things like that, because I lived downtown, well, midtown. And so I went down to the front desk, and I told the front desk lady, I'm like, the guy that comes visit me, he is no longer allowed to be here. Don't let him in. You know, when I used to like walk to work, I was terrified. You know, I didn't want no like contact with him. He called me, and I was just like, told him, I was like, look, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to do this. Why are you tripping? I thought it was beautiful. I was on this, and I'm just, and I'm in my head, I'm thinking like, you're a fucking psycho. But out my mouth, I was just like, well, I just, you know, trying to be as nice as possible and still like not be rude, because I don't know what kind of mindset, you know, he was in, because you didn't care about my feelings or anything, and then you were fucking choking me, you know what I mean? Like, but still trying to like save myself, because again, watching Law and Order, they say you got to get in their head, and I'm just like, you know, maybe I think you'll find somebody that's right for you, and that's not me, you know what I mean? And luckily, I never saw him again. My front desk person told me that he came a few times, and she told him that he wasn't welcome, and like the third time he came, she told him, like, she told me to tell you, if you come back again, she's gonna call the cops. And that scared for him not to come, right? And the front desk lady, she was like, well, what happened? Well, I was like, I just told her, like, we broke up. Like, I didn't give her details. Like, I didn't want to tell nobody, because I didn't want nobody like looking at me like you dumb, like, you know what I mean? And like my therapist telling me, like, don't think like that, like it wasn't your fault. But I don't care what nobody say, like, I knew better. Like, I felt like I should have done more, right? And now that, like, in my relationship, maybe like a year or so ago, I didn't even think about, like, my husband knows, like, you know, what's happening or whatever. And when I first started trauma therapy, and I was first like getting into doing all these things or whatever, and me and Leonard, you know, we were doing to do, and he like put his hands around my neck, and I like to be kinky, you know. I'm just saying, hey, we grown, right? We're adults. We can talk. Can we talk about it? Or are we gonna be fake? Okay. And I never ever after that, like, had an experience with my husband to where I was thinking about this guy or whatever, right? But this particular moment, when Leonard did that, I started screaming, and I started like crying, and like immediately, like, my husband stopped and was like, wait, what's wrong? Like, what did I do? Like, you know, and I'm just like, I just like saw his face, you know, I'm like, I'm confused, and I'm telling my husband, like, I'm sorry, like, I don't know why that happened. And he was just like, no, like, he's like, sometimes this happens. He was like, it could be like anything. He was like, it just happens. He's like, I know it's not me. Like, and my husband, man, my husband's such a great support person, you know what I mean? Like, he really be supporting me, you know. And I talked to my therapist. I was like, well, why would this happen? And she said the same thing that he was saying. Like, it's a trauma response, and it's like, even though you were enjoying the moment, she was like, we've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now, you know, and touching it and trying to get you listening. So she says it's normal for certain little things to trigger you once you start to open up and talk about these things. And so I understood. I still was like very apologetic to my husband. He was like, you don't have to apologize to me. But I just wanted to him to like really know, like, you know, like, I love you. And he was like, girl, would you stop? Like, we good, you know what I mean? But I really, looking back at it, I really wish I would have, you know, done something about it, like, legally. Because I don't know if he's done something to other girls, you know what I mean? Like, and like that, like, sometimes I think about that and I just be like, damn, Sharon, like, you know what I mean? But, I pray, like, I do pray, and I'm like, you know, hopefully this person would just made a dumb decision, and he was young and just a horn dog, and it's not like a serial thing, like, you know what I mean? And that's what I try to play in my head, because like my therapist told me, if I keep like on it, I'm never going to be able to move past it. And I think this is another reason why I started the podcast, is for me to be able to, like, I'm doing the work and I'm healing, right? But it's just something about me, like, sharing it now, you know what I mean, and talking about it, and just showing you guys how you can, you know, move forward with things. And I just appreciate you guys' support. And just, you know, if you guys have had a situation like this, I'm praying for you. It's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be okay. And yeah, don't blame yourself. You know, I'm still blaming myself, but I'm trying to get myself out of blaming myself, and trying to listen what my husband's saying and what my therapist's saying and what the people I've shared it with prior to this have said. Like, it's not your fault. Like, but I think no matter what, we're always going to have that I could have done this or I could have done that if I would have did this type of thoughts or whatever. And those are just normal, right? But I thank God. I thank God for keeping me. I thank God for keeping my nephew and my sister. Because anything could have happened, you know. And I think that's another thing that kind of helps me move forward, in a sense, is because I felt I was saving my nephew and my sister. Like, I don't know, what if my sister would have got up, and what if he would have been like, oh, I want you too, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just felt like if me laying there quiet didn't get anything happen to me or my sister, like physically, like getting us unalived or anything, like, all those thoughts was running through my head in that moment. And I just thank God. I thank God for keeping me. Like, I really thank God for just being an awesome God. And yeah, so that's the episode, y'all. I try my best not to cry, but obviously it's a healing process, and the freaking podcast is talking about taking my power back. So yeah, I'm in a great space. I'm really in a great space healing wise, y'all. And I really, really hope you guys are taking the steps to breaking off your generational traumas, breaking off anything bad that's ever happened to y'all and trying to make it into like a positive and getting out the black hole. Because I can tell y'all right now, honestly, of me being able to live life and wake up and knowing I have a purpose, it feels amazing. And I know the difference. My family is noticing the difference. My friends are noticing the difference. How I'm handling things different. How I'm voicing myself and not staying quiet about certain things. You know what I mean? So we in this together. My comment section is open if y'all want to leave comments. My DMs if you want to have a one-on-one and talk about your experience. You know what I mean? You know, inbox me, email me, whatever the case may be. I am here for you guys. And yeah, so we are about to get out of here, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 4 of Taking My Power Back podcast. When we post this, when I post this, it's going to be Christmas Eve. So Merry Christmas. I hope that you guys have a wonderful, safe, and blessed holiday, Christmas, New Year. New Year is coming up for me, and New Year is not. My sister passed away on New Year's Day, so New Year's Day, I don't know how I'm going to be mentally. I know for her birthday, I did pretty well for the most part. I did break down. I went to church, try to get myself together. I'm trying to be okay with knowing that she's up in heaven and she's happy, but it hurts. You know what I mean? It hurts. I lost my mom, and losing a sister is just like, dang, you know what I mean? But especially me and my sister, older sister, we were just getting our relationship on track, and it was just like, dang, like I struggle with that too. That's another episode we'll talk about. But yeah, happy holidays, you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next episode. I am still doing Vlogmas. I've been holding strong on Vlogmas, y'all. So as always, thank y'all for watching this video. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. And you guys have a great day. Bye.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me.